Thank you for tuning in to Crime After Dark, where we have to talk about crime in the daytime because she's scary.
That was fun.
So we have put a whole lot of hours into this first episode. Literally nonstop watching everything for the last week, like literally everything. To give a little bit of a background about who we are and how we came to decide that we were going to start this channel. My name is Saida. This is my best friend, Tatiana. It started in our 20s. We were together for like practically every day at one point. And in our spare time, we would just lay in the bed and eat snacks and tacos and such and watch murder mysteries and crime shows.
In our spare time.
We had a lot of spare time. We had a lot of spare time. I actually had this idea about 3 years ago, but I couldn't figure out how to get us to be able to do it remotely. Could you be in Florida and me being in Iowa? So we here and we got to get it going and hopefully we get some good traction going. So our first story is going to be on the Murdaugh dynasty. This was a new one. I had never seen it before. I've seen it. I think I just have paid attention to it. So when I started watching it again, it kind of brought some stuff back. But for those that are not familiar with it, this is a prominent family that was based out of Hampton County, South Carolina. And from what I've been told, because you said back there, it's real hickish, real backwood.
Yeah, very country road, one road.
So you have the timeline, so go ahead.
Well, I mean, it all came to light in 2018 with the son getting into the boat accident. That's what all started the whole thing. But it's been years of this family just tearing their little town apart piece by piece. So in July 8th, 2015, there was a body found on the road and a young gay man who was rumored to have a relationship with one of their sons. And it was closed. He was a hit and run, but all evidence do not show a hit and run. And then in February 2nd, 2018, the housekeeper that raised these boys mysterious falls down just some brick stairs and
tripped over the dog. That's what they said. She tripped over the dog
and died. And
it's not funny, y'all, but
no, it's not. But
look, if you go watch the documentary, it's on HBO Max. Y'all gonna feel the same
and
way.
One on Amazon, yeah. And then that's when everything started falling apart. When they got into that broker in 2019, the baby was missing. Mallory was missing. Mallory Beach, I think her name was.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was just being real sneaky and trying to do things that they had no business. And I guess these families just finally, I guess when it happened to your kid, they had enough.
And no one else. Let's rewind back like 10 steps because like we went straight into it and didn't even explain a whole lot about the family. So let's go back like 10 steps. Okay. No. First of all, this is like the family of Hampton County. Like they are the richest. And when I say prominent, especially in a small town like that, because where I live is small and that's smaller than where I'm at. So, and they had a hand in a lot of things that were going on with the legal system. The family, they were actually a long line of attorneys and what are they called? Solicitors.
I don't know what a solicitor is.
We learned a new term this week.
But this is a district attorney.
Yeah. So basically they were able to manipulate any type of situation in their favor because they had their hand in the police department's back pocket. Again, this is district attorney. They handling cases.
Yep.
They probably judges don't like it. It's crazy. But this is what I think led up to everything because you got these spoiled kids, particularly Paul. These spoiled kids, nobody can tell them anything. Like I remember one lady saying she even warned her son, like, it's okay if you hang out with them, but be careful because if y'all get into something, they're not going to get in trouble. You are.
And that I did hear her say that, and I was thinking to myself that I would never tell my son it's okay if you hang out with that boy and be his friend, but know that if you get in trouble, it's gonna be him. Like I don't want you to have that friend. Like
Right.
we get in trouble, we all get in trouble.
We got
like,
in trouble.
We got in
all
trouble.
got in
like
trouble.
There's no Tatiana got in trouble. Oh, Saeed got in trouble. No, it's two girls. They need to separate. They need to break up. Them two
we were once told we needed to break up. Exactly. Literally, they just like end the friendship. Stop right now.
Yeah, right.
Not doing too much.
Got in trouble. So that was just weird for her. Even the fact that she knew that family was that way and still allowed her son to be friends with this family, and like you knew your son was never going to ever be protected.
Yeah.
Or, it's no. There's no way I would have been okay with that friendship. So that was weird for me. But I guess you want a rich friend. I don't know.
So what was the date for when they found Steven in, we said 2015?
So it was July 8th, 2015.
Okay, so I don't even know like where to start because it's just so much. Like I want to start from there, but
well, I think we should start from the boat crash. So okay, so Paul the son driving the boat, going to the Oyster Fest. I've never even heard of this. Friend's house, driving this boat, and he gets drunk. Now they're drinking, underage drinking.
I'm gonna say underage drinking.
They're also and Snapchatting this whole thing. So everyone knows that they are on a boat, underage drinking, and buying the beer from the gas station, the service station, and going to the port to get off at the bar to drink more. And on the videos, they show how Anthony, who was Mallory's boyfriend, they were trying to
stop him.
Yeah, try to stop him. They didn't want to protect. They wanted to go back to the grandpa's house and just go home. They didn't want to do that. And they said that he had like an alter ego when he got drunk. Timmy was his name.
I think that's what it was. I thought I had put that, but I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and how he just turned into this violent, aggressive person, and how they were fighting over, who's gonna drive the boat, and he was angry, taking off his clothes, trying to fight, show off, that rich drunk, attitude.
Privilege.
Right, privilege attitude.
Yes.
And they said that he just hit the throttle, and they just went right into the side of the bridge and flipped over. And that's when Mallory flipped out. Everyone else was still on the boat or near the boat. Anthony, they called it, the Coast Guard and EMS and all those people. And then the mom, he called the mom, and they have it all on video on the, the police cam, the police car cam or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Anthony was just saying, like, that motherfucker was laughing. He thinks it's funny. Like, and,
he was big mad. He was big mad. I saw that recording. He was hot.
Yeah. I felt so bad because the boy did not take it serious. This boy is looking for his girlfriend that he's been with for a while now. And everyone's hurt. The one little girl had her finger, like, almost cut off. The guy had a jaw or displaced jaw or something like that. He did not take this situation serious. And then I believe on the ride to the ambulance in the ambulance was when he called Paul Murdaugh called his grandfather to say that Coon was driving the boat.
This is what blew me. Like, they were playing in these people's faces. Like, literally, okay, well, we'll just say your son did it. Then goes to the son and like, okay, just say you was driving the boat. Like, somebody was going to willingly take the responsibility of essentially killing this girl in a boating accident because you were too drunk and didn't want to let anybody else drive.
Right.
And it's the hiring your buddy to be the attorney
for the family. The Corey Fleming.
They was playing in these people's face.
I did hear one of the interviewees say that Morgan, one of the girls that was there, I think that's Connor's girlfriend, she told the nurse don't let Alex in my room, which is Paul's father, Alex.
Right.
Don't let him in my room. I'm scared of him. I don't know what he would do. And that's just, I mean, in any situation where you call the parents first for these children. Like there should be no one going into these rooms without their parents there anyway, knowing that this family has this reputation anyways. Like, I mean, I was amazed to see everyone on this documentary say they were this way, they were that way, they were this way.
But I was still dealing with him.
But he's my friend. Okay.
Yeah. It was only one dude that whole documentary that stood 10 toes down for Alex. And I was so mad at him because he was getting on my nerves. Because
was the guy in the camouflage? Yeah,
it looked like he shoot deer for a living.
Okay. Because I even wrote his quote down and it pissed me off. And I said, "It is an idiot."
What did he say?
He was like, he was a good man. He's a good man. And I just don't think any family deserves this. I mean, well, it's called karma. You can't just go on your life doing things and not having any type of, you're just
right.
Need to hide all
right. And so bouncing off of the Mallory situation, what her death ended up causing was for the town and the police to really start paying more attention to this family, because it's like all these things have happened. So we're going to go to Stephen. Now, Stephen said he has some tea.
I believe Stephen has some tea.
I believe he has some tea too. And he said if he told this tea, the town was going to be shook.
I mean, they would have just covered it. I mean, well, they did try to cover it up anyway.
They did try.
Cover it up anyway, right. But so, he had some tea. And I honestly think that the Gloria situation, which is the housekeeper, I really think that it came from Alex.
That more so than Mallory.
Yeah, I think that Alex couldn't afford their lifestyle anymore, because I mean, what else would you? This woman took care of your kids since I think they said Paul.
They said all like their whole life.
Yeah, Paul was one, and you guys. She falls, she dies, and then you guys take this settlement, and you guys take the settlement from her son. I feel like they needed that money, and he could not keep his lifestyle. So that's really what that came.
But from the sounds of it, he had been. That he had been stealing money from his clients.
And we don't want to talk about all the clients that were African American,
girl,
and he was taken from them, and
And they specify minority or poor people. So you just out here taking advantage of people when they really needed help.
Mm-hmm.
And
to the man, his own police officer that is on his side.
The
Moore guy or Officer Moore, and took advantage of him too. And I'm just like, I just don't understand how this family has like all of these. They allow this family to do this over and over. It's just really scary.
But that goes to show you what money will make people do.
That's true.
Like, I don't care if I was the front desk clerk at the police department. Don't come in there and ask me to do nothing.
No fair for you.
My name's not coming up in nothing later on.
Fraud to me.
And they was pointing the finger at so many people. So if you get a little bit involved, they telling.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not doing that with y'all today. But the tea that we think Stephen had is he was sleeping with the oldest son of Alex, Buster. Because he had been talking to his cousin. And so his cousin, he was out on some fancy trip with this rich man.
Or he was going to go on this fancy trip on a boat with some rich guy, some well-known guy, but he can't tell because he would just not, it wouldn't be good to tell.
Right.
And so they all thought that it was Buster. And I did see one interview where the guy was saying that even though it might have been Buster's secret, they think that Paul did something to that boy because of his attitude.
But everybody was saying Buster.
Yeah. So everyone was saying Buster as in, I think the relationship, like Buster's the reason. But on one of the calls the guy did the interview for, he was saying like, one of the guys was saying like, I just don't see Buster having that type of attitude. It would be Paul. So I was thinking, well, maybe Paul found out. Maybe Paul's hearing the same rumor. My brother's gay. My brother's sleeping with this boy. Okay, this ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna do something.
Okay, let's zone in on Paul.
Okay.
He gives small man syndrome.
Very much so.
Like, why are you this angry?
Yeah.
I understand you're spoiled rotten and you feel entitled to pretty much everything. But why are you so upset? And in the aspect of one of them, because I feel like with that much frustration, it could be trying to overcompensate because most men when they in the closet, they overcompensate.
Yeah,
they gotta do the most because I'm a man. So it could have been Paul. Now that we sitting here talking about it.
Yeah. That's what they were saying. They were like, they felt like maybe it was Buster's affair, but that Paul did the action because.
And I can see that because they even said the way his body was placed. Let's get into that. Okay. Because they were sloppy about even trying to cover it up. The story is he was hit by a car and left in the road. But they said it literally looked like they just dumped his body there. His face was missing.
His shoes were still on.
His cell phone was still in his pocket in one piece.
And wasn't broken. Right. And I feel like, and there was no car pieces around. So there was no like a light, a tail light, a broken mirror, no glass. There was nothing, no front, whatever that little thing is, mogul in the front of your car, whatever.
Yeah, bumper anything.
Right. There was nothing part of a car. There was a car accident. And then they were saying that Steven's sister said, that morning he was at the gas station. His car did not start. He called her. She gave him a jump. She followed him home. And so she knew that the car was not acting right. But for it to be on the side of the road, and for them to say, "Oh, he ran out of gas. He was walking." When you run out of gas, from the inside of your car, you ran out of gas. Yeah. You don't have to go to the gas tank to open it up to see and they left it open. And so that's like something like someone that doesn't know, like just, we'll say he ran out of gas, we'll open it up. Like, why would he open his gas?
And his wallet was still in the car. So if you're walking to the gas station to get gas, why are you going to leave your wallet in the car?
And I also believe this is true when she said we would never walk in the road.
Because they grew up going up and down that road.
Right. If a car was coming, we would jump in the woods. Because he didn't, they didn't want nothing to happen to them.
Right.
Being that he was already gay. That was already something on his back.
Problem. And let's talk about small towns and their stupid beliefs. And I'm going to just leave it at that because we know what the belief is. But their stupid beliefs of you're gay and you're just an embarrassment to your family and to anybody that has anything to do with you. Because apparently the Murdaughs had a belief, and they believed it strong enough to kill this boy.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel like that. I feel like that family found out that maybe Buster was sleeping with Steven, or not even sleeping, just entertaining him, an openly gay teenager, and that just wasn't appropriate for them. And I think they had everything to do with it. And then. Also, Steven's mom said, driving to the funeral home, the Murdaughs were at the scene, which was
every time though.
Alex and the brother Randy, which I have a lot of questions for Randy, but him and Randy were at the scene. So why are you guys at a scene of a car? Why are you there? Like, there's no reason for you to be there.
What I picked up on, what stood out to me was, how did y'all even know it happened yet already?
Right. How did you know?
That nobody has said anything. How did y'all know already?
Why would you guys come here? Even if it was a day after, because I know she said she was on the way to her funeral home. But but why would you even go there? There's no reason for you to go there. No one contacted you to be the lawyer of the mom, of Sandy, or something. Her name was Sandy, or the sister.
You talking about the Murdaugh mom?
No. Steven's mom.
Okay.
Yeah. No one you weren't representing them, so you had no reason to be at the scene. So who were you representing? Your family, because you wanted to see what the hell was going on at that scene.
Because and the same thing with the investigation of it. At first, nobody even wanted to help. What did I had wrote that down? It's like the D. It was the something.
The who?
Give me 2 seconds. Okay. It was because I wrote it down. Let me get my paper out of here.
All right.
It was a specific department. I'm mad because I had wrote it down. But
wait, is it the SLED?
No, it wasn't SLED. It was something else. But them two. Basically, nobody wanted to get involved. The local police departments didn't want nothing to do with it. Like, they low-key had to have some people come from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
In different counties to investigate it because the Murdaughs had their hand in everybody's pocket.
Right.
Like, exactly. like you, nobody wanted to go against them. Ain't nobody finna tell on them. But even the investigation, they said that when the Murdaughs hired like a private investigator, essentially, to come out and inspect the area where the accident happened, the guy was like, he wasn't even like inspecting. He was just following them to see what they were finding out or what they might find that might show back to the Murdaughs. It's just like, you have to be a horrible breed of person
to just
kill people and think it's okay and just pay your way out of it.
Yeah. And then they close this hit and run. Steven's a hit and run. Now, years later, they reopen it when he does what he did, or supposedly did what he did to his family. So now I want to be nosy. I want you to tell me this. I need to know what made y'all open that case back up, because y'all asses.
Because they had questions the whole time, but they didn't have anything.
Y'all did something, yes.
Yeah, no, they didn't have anything. I think they feel like they didn't have anything tangible. They didn't have any hard evidence to show, okay, it was definitely a Murdaugh. Because like you said, there's no car pieces. There's no other blood in the road besides Stevens. Like, there's nothing else to tie it back to anybody. So all you can put it as is unknown. But in that case, because he was in the middle of the road, it's a hit and run. That's all they can assume it is. But I feel like they knew. They had an inkling. But again, they didn't have anything tangible. So as soon as he got charged with those murder charges, and now we can get into that of killing his Paul and his wife.
So that's what really blew my mind was, so that happened February, the boat accident, and then maybe 2 months later, I think he was arraigned or indicted for the driving under the influence by boating, and also her being the murder of Mallory.
Right.
And they didn't even handcuff him. They took his picture in a hallway. Like, how respectful. Like, are you kidding me? He's a criminal. He's like,
they didn't treat him like one.
No.
Like, at all.
He should at least got booked regularly. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know. I was just done with that. I don't know what the hell.
But no, when I feel like once he was charged with murdering Paul and Maggie, then it's like, okay, boom, we can go ahead and open this back up, because now we got something, and I know they're hoping something's going to come from this trial to prove something, because that's why Buster won't go back. But in everything that we've talked about, it led up, which was Steven's body being found in the road, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Steven in 2015, Gloria the housekeeper in 2018, then the boat accident 19, and then Paul was indicted, and then that's where I was trying to get to. Right, and Paul was indicted, and then he did that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you can get to
the reason why Paul was indicted. Alec is currently on trial at this very moment. Because he is suspected of murdering his wife and son. And
that was June 7th of 2021.
Yeah, because that was recent. I remember when the date popped up, I was like, dang.
Yeah.
So the story goes, or the story he told, is they were having dinner, him, Maggie, and Paul, just the fam, fried fries, some chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, some corn, Just eating dinner as a
No
family.
other meal.
Right. South Carolina, probably fried catfish. I don't know. But they just having a nice family dinner, and Paul went outside because he never stays in the house, is what they said. Paul goes outside. Maggie went somewhere in the house, and Alec laid down and took a nap. The story goes, when Alec woke up from his nap, he's calling out for Maggie. Maggie didn't answer. Calls out for Paul. Paul doesn't answer. So he shoots Maggie a text. All right, I'm finna slide out. I'm finna go to my mom's house real quick. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
The story he told is he texted or called the nurse aide that was at the house with his mom to let him in or to let her know he was on his way. He stayed with mom for 20 minutes. Mom has dementia. And this is important because we feel like the man is lying. But anyway, this is important. His mom has dementia. He says he sat over there for about 20 minutes. Then he headed back home, which is when he found the bodies of his wife and son.
Yes.
The problem with his story, though, he has zero alibis.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
So supposedly he has his, as a lawyer, you would know this, like you would know that they're going to look at my cell phone records. So he talked to someone on his way there and on his way back. But again, you go visit your mom for
who has dementia.
20 minutes, you didn't even watch a whole show with her. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought about that. Like, who goes to visit their mom? I mean, unless it's just like on your lunch break. Who goes to visit their mom for 20 minutes?
Right. And I mean, from my understanding, the mom and dad are still married and together. His dad was very much alive at that point.
But did he have like dementia?
I think
like that?
I don't know, but I think he died during all of this. I don't even think that he was dead then. So the dad would have had to been there too, or I mean, I don't know. I just doesn't make sense to go visit your family. You drive at night, it
was the middle of the night for 20, and then based on what you said, where they're located at, because you said it's like on the back end when y'all be going back and forth. Based on that, my assumption is they can't live that close together. Yeah, like you driving 30, 45 minutes at least to sit down for 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, he might have just rolled in and rolled back out like, hey, I was here. Now home. I was here to see me. No. I just don't believe. I mean, how deep his driveway is at least 3-minute drive. Like, I mean,
no, that property was huge,
right? And then my thing was also too, like, you said you came back home and you're driving up your driveway. Like, what made you veer off to the right to go to your dog kennels? Like, why didn't you go in your driveway and then walk into your home? Like, what did you see? Lights? Did you see, like, what did you see? And I mean, I know everyone shoots out there, people hunt. It's night. They could just be shooting their guns, just period.
But no, that's private property. Unless they give somebody permission, nobody should. That doesn't stop people.
Hearing the gunshots.
Oh yeah.
Hearing gunshots, that's normal. So no, even if someone did hear gunshots, they wouldn't feel like, what's going on? Like, if I heard my neighbor shooting, I'm gonna call it. I'm all in. Like, what?
Yeah, no, same thing here, because there's
exactly. Around here, that's the norm, and they're just like, oh, someone's out shooting, practicing or shooting. But I mean, no one heard gunshots. I mean, it was 3 gunshots. Like,
it had to be more than 3.
Gunshots.
They said,
like one of those, school shooting guns. I don't know.
No, they said it was a shotgun
for Paul.
What kind of gun was it for Maggie?
The school shooting gun.
What's that? What was it, like an AK? An AR-15?
Yeah, I think that's right there. I think we had it. And then they said that she was running because she was hit, like, going up her body. So she was hit, like, if someone was like this, because she's running. So, like, her lower leg, her thigh, her mid back, and then, like, up her body. So she must have been running away. So I just was like, that isn't, I don't know. Someone didn't hear, like, no one heard anything to say, this is weird, like.
But even if they did, would they have said anything?
That's true too. That's true.
Like, would they have
Paul? I feel like him and his son, Alex and Paul, have very much the same demeanor about every situation. Their 911 calls are ridiculous. When Paul called 911 for Gloria, the housekeeper,
mm-hmm.
and then Alex called for finding his wife and son dead,
mm-hmm.
were very much the same. And I just feel like they don't have any
remorse,
sympathy, empathy, like nothing. They're like, oh, the lady's dead. Why are you asking these questions? And the way Paul was describing Gloria falling down the steps, he was just like, her head's cracked out of the left side.
What made me mad about that was when they were asking, you know,
said it like that.
Right. And 911, they have to ask certain questions.
Right.
And he's like, what does it matter? Why do you keep asking me these questions? Like,
he's like, she's bleeding on the left side of her head. Her head is cracked. Or her head is something. Her head is something. And she's bleeding. Blood is pouring out of her left ear. And I was thinking,
they weird, bro.
I would have been like,
I bet you the mom and dad.
There's blood everywhere.
I bet you the mom and dad was swingers. They weird, dog.
Yeah, I agree. And then the whole fake divorce thing, she was getting divorced or whatever.
I don't think it was fake. I
so.
feel like because they said she had been living at the beach house. I don't think it was fake.
I believe that she went to the beach house only because I can see the tension in that town with Mallory, Anthony, Connor and all that with those parents, and now her son and her. So I can see those moms being some like type of way. It's weird. They're weird. Everybody's seeing me different because they feel like I'm sticking up for my son, who's this murderer, and I can see her moving to the beach house. But I also know that like women are more observant than men think you think we are. And I feel like she knew a lot. And he was like, yeah, because I
think what prompted that is she was planning on divorcing him. Yeah. Because now if she breaks away from him, any repercussion that might come from the trial may not directly affect her anymore if she's already removed herself. And then on top of that, the finances were not there anymore. They said he was over $100,000 in the negative, like in his accounts. So
negative, yeah.
It's easy if you got a joint account or have access to the account to just run to the ATM real quick and find out that you ain't got money. Mm-hmm. So I feel like when she said, you know what, I'm done for whatever her reasons might have been, that's when he felt like she gotta go. And he probably figured Paul was gonna side with his mom no matter what.
I feel like
he had to go too.
I feel like she had to go because there was no, I don't want my secrets to be out. I don't want my business, my negative money in my account to be out. And I also feel like, I think he was just a little frustrated with Paul just because this is all because of you. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, this all started because of your drunk ass. Yeah. Just let somebody else drive the boat or not get as drunk. And I think
my thing is, or why are you letting your child? Because clearly he's not mature enough to be outside at night driving a boat.
Yeah, no.
And it's your boat because it ain't his. It's your boat. So it all started from the top. Like it all started from the top.
But I'm saying that anger for Paul came when he got in that boat because now it's just falling apart. Mm-hmm. People are like really looking at things and seeing things different and not believing everything that they say, and it just. I feel like he was mad.
Alex was like, I've worked all my life to keep this together.
Here you go. You little shit. But I just feel like he was losing control and he just had nothing else to do. And after killing his wife or they say he killed his wife and his son, and having his friend come to shoot him in the head.
Oh, we skipped clean past that. Cause not you hiring somebody to help you and then gonna turn around and try to snitch on him and say he did it by himself.
Curtis said he's like a brother to me. I feel betrayed. I didn't shoot that man. I came there. You're driving a car that has a flat tire, but this car can drive, I don't know, I think it was like 70 miles on a flat tire. So you don't need there, and it's not even flat. It's slashed. Now it's just the air is empty. So You're telling me someone slashed your tire and then came and shot you in the back of the head? Meanwhile, in court, you don't have a bandage.
Nothing.
There's not dried blood or.
They went straight into the opioid addiction. They skipped clean past that.
Yeah. I'm a drug addict. Just need to go.
Not that was his alibi though. I'm a drug addict.
I'm a drug addict. We're gonna go with that. I'm just gonna go with that.
That's why I was stealing money.
That's why I was stealing money, and that's why. Yeah, no. And his brother's response to him quitting or whatever. I don't condone. I was like, really? You don't condone it? I know that you're in on stealing this money too, but
I'm sure there's a lot of people that was in on it. Even his attorney. Like, I feel like his attorney knows that this man did it, but because of however much money he felt like he gonna get. But I feel like, how much you finna get paid for real?
When he's in the negative $100,000. Okay.
Because guaranteed that house is
no bono to me, brother. It looks like a
guaranteed that house is in foreclosure.
Right. I'm sure.
There's nobody there. Buster refuses to go back.
Yeah, I did. I heard that he wasn't coming back. I see that he has. So, I guess with like predominant families in like little towns like that, I mean, everyone knows everyone's business. Mm-hmm. And for him to have a girlfriend now, it's just a little weird to me. Because, I mean, doesn't this girlfriend have questions? I don't know. I feel like his name is Buster, like Murdaugh. Like, there is no other. I have questions. He said, I can't date
only her. Because we got.
I'm the next one dead on the list because that bitch nosy right there. I can't date her because I'm all in the first date.
You can't even be around. Like, you can't even be an acquaintance of nobody because they offer you off the rip. Because
the elephant is not gonna be in this room because I need to know, sir. What the
and not only that, it goes back to what you said about like the parents being okay with their kids being friends with these boys, and even if he, like, say Paul had a girlfriend, they never said it, but if he did, like,
he did. One of the girls on the boat was his girlfriend.
Okay, and you're okay with the daughter, and I feel like they were okay with it because it's like, okay, maybe they can benefit from it some kind of way. So if my kid becomes best friends with their kid,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I can get something out of it in the long run.
Or I'm known, or I'm popular, and I get it. I guess that's how it is. You know, those little towns is like either you're popular or you're not, or you're bullied or you're not. Not that it's okay, but that's just how it is. And they were willing to risk it all to be friends with this.
I wonder how much they was paying these people. Because, like, not to say I would do it, but like, how much are y'all, like, to even consider it? How much are y'all offering these people? Like, okay, you said how much? No.
What I get a month?
Carry the 3.
So I get to go anywhere with you, and we just get things for free. Then, yeah, no.
Yeah, like, I always wonder, like, what was the dollar amount? Because I know we both watched shows where people were paid pennies to kill people, $700, $800, $2,000-$3,000.
It's just like, what favor do you do to cover up a murder? Like, what?
I'm not doing time for nobody.
Me either. Like, I'm not gonna be a police officer in a small town, and you're not gonna. You can't offer me anything to write off that this woman fell down your stairs. This doesn't look right to me. Like,
it was the tripping over the dog. Yeah. I have a dog, and I have stairs.
$4.3 million from this.
That's what was cold.
And she was a single mother all her life, so I'm sure her sons depended on her for a lot, mm-hmm. and she depended on her sons for a lot. Mm-hmm. And for you guys, the whole thing, you telling me you're that greedy that
I couldn't get a meal, right?
You couldn't give him $1 million and make him let him split it?
Just one.
You could have just gave him, I don't know.
Give me the other. Like, you kept all of it. Well, my thing is, again, what, and I understand he preyed on people that weren't as knowledgeable, more than likely, but it's just like, to walk away from a case that you know you won and you have no compensation for it, you don't ask no questions.
Yeah. I told Day, I said, this man said, here's my card. I have insurance. We're gonna sue me. They said, what? That doesn't make any sense. You're coming to me telling me that we're gonna sue me because you have insurance, but you and your friend Corey are gonna be my lawyer. That just seems suspect. I don't want to do that. I'll get my own lawyer to sue you. I'm not gonna have you sue yourself.
They were just terrible people.
I don't even believe that my mom fell at your damn house. So I know damn well you ain't giving me no damn money.
No, because again, she's been there all of at least 20 years because she done raised both boys. So we can assume at least 20 years she's been in this house. Probably been around the same dog the entire time or most of the time. Again, I have a dog, a big one, and I have a house. And she's constantly running and wrapped around my feet. I stepped on her this morning. I went to take a step back. She was right there. Didn't even know she was there. But never have I ever tripped over her down the stairs.
Well, I'm not going to say that because Hustle stood behind me and I fell with the whole spaghetti jar, okay? And I fell backwards and I dropped the spaghetti and the shit was everywhere. So, and he's big and he's silent. So I do understand that. But like the 911 operator said, there was no dog barking in the background. There was never a mention of a dog
throughout the whole process.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know.
Okay, well, I think we did good.
For our first
one. She was scared, y'all.
I was really nervous.
Scared. You did really good for your first one.
Well, look at us.
Look at us. Well, we're going to go ahead and close out.
Before dark.
Crime after dark, yeah.
No, I said we're talking about it before dark.
Oh, okay, yeah, she's an hour ahead of me and it's starting to get dark.
A little bit.
But we will keep you guys updated on the case because again, this is a case that's going on right now in court on TV. Again, you can watch the documentary on HBO Max. It's called Murdaugh.
Dynasty.
What is it? Down Country, Low Country?
Low Country, the Murdaugh.
Yeah, the Murdaugh family dynasty. Yeah. They have one on Amazon and then they have one coming out on Netflix. Yeah, in a couple weeks.
March something or
so but if you like what you see and what you're hearing, please leave a comment. If there are stories that you want to hear, let us know. We can look into them, but we will try to keep you posted on this one. We will be posting new episodes every Thursday, so tune in. Still working on a Facebook page. I'm gonna drop that down below in a minute. But we this is our first one.
I know. I think we did good.
I think we did.
We could have been a little bit in order, but we did good.
I mean, just the first one. We'll get it together for the second one. I think we did. I think they'll get it though.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. I just, I was just nervous.
I know.
It's one thing when it's just you and me. I know it's another thing when I know you're about to put this on the internet. I'll try to cuss all the time.
All right. Well, we will check y'all out next time, peoples. Have a good evening because we can't do it after dark. I can't say good night.
No nighttime crime.